Welcome to episode 32 of the Marketing Mix podcast, where we talk to some amazing business leaders about their top challenges, strategies, and advice. This week, I'm joined by Craig Dubitsky, founder at Hello Products. Craig and I discuss the importance of great packaging, how to effectively break into dominated markets, and the reason to maintain an innovation mindset in product development. Craig also reveals how long he'd last in a zombie apocalypse. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to share and subscribe. Craig, it's awesome to have you on the show.
It's awesome to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, super excited, Craig. I've actually, had a chance to try your products and they're amazing.
Thank you.
And I think, before we even get started on anything, let's just kind of take a step back to the beginning with you and would love to hear about, your inspiration, for Hello Products.
Sure. Well, I'm a lifelong entrepreneur, and it's just funny because we're doing an audio recording, but I'm a hyper visual type of person, and I literally, and by the way, I have a face for podcasts, so it's perfectly fabulous that we're doing this just an audio only situation.
We could switch to video right now.
Oh God, no. So I'm like always maybe paying more attention than I should. Luckily, I haven't been in any automobile accidents as a driver, but I'm always just kind of noticing as much as I can take in. And I was in a certain large drug chain on 6th Avenue in New York City. I'll leave out the cross street so I don't get anybody, upset with me in the world of large drug chains.
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking down the aisle, and I wasn't particularly focusing on buying any toothpaste or anything, but like I said, I'm just hyper visual. And I'm looking at the aisle, and it just sort of hits me that I'm seeing all these pictures of extracted teeth on many, many packages.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry if I'm cursing, but it was one of those moments, they call it the aha moment. I'm more like the what the fuck moment. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that one has a hologram of an extracted tooth, and that one has an extracted tooth with all these weird concentric circles around it. And like, I know what they're trying to say. Like, this stuff is so good, it's going to get down to the roots and that type of vibe. But all it made me think was like the last thing I ever want to see is an extracted tooth. Like, I use this stuff so I never have to.
Exactly.
And yet, like, there it was, and I'm looking at the aisle. And I saw this like big swath of red and this big swath of blue on the other side of the aisle. And I was like, this is the Cola Wars. It's Coke and Pepsi, except it's, another red brand and another blue brand in oral care. And then there's this other brand that's the white brand. It's right in the middle, like separating the two.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, like, this is really kind of screwed up. And I literally thought, every brand that is flashing through my mind has this like red versus blue thing. So there's Coke and Pepsi, there's, Colgate is red and Crest is blue, CVS is red, Walgreens is blue, JetBlue is blue, Virgin is red, Delta is red, United is blue, Budweiser is red, Miller Coors is blue. It's like, this is a parlor trick and we could do this all day long. And it just made me think, like, wait a minute, what's going on? And I picked up a product and I looked at the back and I saw this ingredient, and I'm not a chemist, but I know how to use this thing called the Google. And I'm like, what is this ingredient? Why have I heard of this? And I go online, I see this ingredient, and I'm like, whoa, that's like a hardcore ingredient. And the FDA had banned this ingredient from hand wash. Like, you couldn't wash your hands with it. It wasn't in hand soap anymore.
So put
it
it
was in
mouth,
toothpaste. Right? Exactly, in your kid's mouth. And I saw like saccharin. I'm like, wait, saccharin? Didn't they like vanquish that from diet sodas like 30 years ago? Like, why is that in kids' toothpaste? And like, what's up with this crap? And I thought, every message I was getting, it's just kind of aggressive and fear mongering, right? It's like, if you're not whitening, you're frightening. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to kill and eliminate and destroy stuff, it's going to come and get you, right? Like, I love to rhyme because I'm a frustrated, really horrible songwriter in my fantasy life. And in my mind, if it rhymes, it's right. So what I say about oral care, the messaging was typically, if you don't use the stuff, you're not going to get paid and you're not going to get laid. Like, you're not going to get the job. You're not going to get kissed. The dentist is going to drill, fill, and bill you. Like everything was about fear and shame.
Hmm.
Everything.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, that's really kind of freaky. And I like to think as human beings, and I never use the word consumer. I mean, I avoid it like the plague. I avoid it like triclosan, a really scary ingredient that you shouldn't brush your teeth with.
Hmm.
As people, we write our narratives through our things. And I also like to think that as people, we're a lot more um, just kind of aware and sensitive and evolved than the types of messages we were being, sort of forced to look at or think about when it came to how we take care of our teeth and our smiles. And oh, yeah, that's right. If it goes in your mouth, it's going in your whole body. So all this stuff kind of flashed through my mind pretty quickly. And that is what gave rise to this whole hello thing. I literally was like, what's the friendliest word I could think of? Because nothing in this category seems to be friendly. It's all fear mongering. And hello is the friendliest word. And I was like, that's it. It's hello.
Also, the friendly factor, right? Like you could see it in the company, and I see it in you, right? It's like you're just a very approachable person. And it looks like you kind of spread that DNA through the entire makeup of the organization, which it truly does show.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. I feel really, I'm the luckiest person. I really, like, no joke. I'm like the luckiest person. But I just have to say one thing. Like when we like think about what we're building here, I like to say people join the company. Like we don't hire people, they join. And it sounds trite, but I don't mean it to sound trite. It's the truth. And when you create an atmosphere where basically, like, my job, part of it is to see the invisible and then work with really brilliant people who can help make it real and make it better. But the other part is to create a place, a platform where the coolest, smartest people can do their coolest, smartest, best work, because people want to create stuff.
Yeah.
Even if that stuff might be a spreadsheet, right? It might be a forecast. It might be, creating doesn't mean like you worked with a lump of clay and you made, like a piece of sculpture. Everything to me is art. Even a spreadsheet is art. So as long as you create an environment where it's cool to be playful and you're enabled to do your best stuff, like, people, that's all people really want. They want an opportunity to, like, work their magic. So for us, we have to find people that their particular magic is the kind of stuff that's going to help us get better and make better stuff that people can fall in love with. That's it. So the more positive we keep putting out like that, the more cool people want to come be a part of it and help us make things better, because we're making everyday stuff. And that's what's also so cool about this. Like, we're not making something really highfalutin and like, I don't get it. When would I ever use that? It's like, oh yeah, I wake up and I use this stuff. I go to sleep and I use this stuff.
Totally. So, Craig, you were the co-founder of lip balm maker EOS, so you know how to build good products. And when you look at your current business at Hello Products, and you guys have had a tremendous success in a massive market. Like you were even talking about it in that kind of aha or what the fuck moment, right? In the aisle, you guys have quickly grown to, one of the top natural brands in all oral care. So if you had to really think back and pin it down to a few things, like what was it that really helped you guys get the brand to where it is today?
Well, I would be remiss and I'd be lying if I didn't say it was the team, because a great idea without the right people to help make it better and make it come to life is just a great idea. So I would always take a mediocre idea and a great team, because I'll turn it into something amazing. So, like, full props to the team of people that we've been able to attract. So there's that, and after that, I'd say we took something that again was like really unfriendly and tried to demystify it and make it better. And that's the key thing. Like, if I could stress one word, it's better. And better can be defined lots of different ways. Like, better could be more natural, better could be more transparent, better could be more affordable, better could be more human and relatable. There's lots of ways to define better, but like, I didn't want to just say, "Whoa, we're clever. We trademarked the word hello all over the world," because we did, and that's fabulous, and I'm very proud of that. But what I'm really excited about is the fact that our stuff is better. And what I find now, and I speak with a lot of entrepreneurs and I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and I spend a lot of time at a lot of universities and also within some really big companies that ask me to come in and help them figure out, are there some new ways to look at what we're doing or things we could do? And I really try to push hard on this notion of better because I keep hearing about, there are these new brands and they've raised all this money and they're going to spend all this money on advertising. They work with one of 5 different firms that, are doing design or doing, digital or doing PR. And I keep hearing the same narrative as well. Like, you've been screwed by the man and we're going direct to you. We were sick of paying too much for fill in the blank, right? Whatever it is, mattresses, eyewear, luggage, underwear, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I think the key thing is like that's, to me, that's, I don't want to say it's table stakes. That's important stuff, but is it really better? Is it only better because someone feels like they're disintermediating the quote unquote man? Like, I wanted to make stuff that was really better. I know who grows our mint. We work with 4th generation women owned mint farmers in Oregon.
That's cool.
And we go to the farm and we know who's making our tubes, and we're making them in New Jersey, we're making them in Pennsylvania, and we it's very I say we're making personal care personal again, and that's not meant to be cute and with air quotes around it. We really care, and I think that the more thoughtfulness that we put into this stuff and trying to make it better, being transparent about how we do business, where and how we source things, even what ingredients do. Like on the back of our fluoride-free paste, it says next to every ingredient what it does.
I noticed that on the packaging. I really like that.
Yeah, and if you notice, even next to flavor, it says yum, just in case you weren't sure.
I feel like it's like, oh, there's Craig talking to me on the package.
Yeah, well, thank you. I write the copy, so it really is me talking to you on the package.
I have one of your products in front of me, and you're like packaging fanatic, right? And you write the copy. And so, for everyone listening in, Craig actually sent me a bunch of his products, which are amazing. And I've got the Hello Activated Charcoal Extra Freshening Mouthwash with me right now. And I just want to I'm going to read the directions, but also what's on the packaging here, right? So it says, take a swish on the wild side. Black rinse might look weird, but it works brilliantly. Activated charcoal made with sustainable bamboo is a natural detoxifier that freshens breath while coconut oil moisturizes your mouth. But wait, there's more. Xylitol and tea tree oil will rock your world. And bonus, there's 0 alcohol. Now that's friendly. And then on the directions here, it says shake the bottle before each use. Charcoal may settle, but you shouldn't. Swish like you mean it for 20 to 30 glorious seconds and think happy thoughts. Black rinse can be messy, so please spit responsibly and clean the sink when you're done. That's friendly. That's awesome. Because you never see that on any packaging. It's just kind of straight ingredients and boring shit, right?
Well, it's like the legal department wrote it. So
exactly.
And they're great at contracts, but they're not necessarily great at brand voice or copy. With all due respect to the lawyers out there, and believe me, we run everything through regulatory counsel too, and they're always scratching their head. They're like, "You can't say that," or like, "Really? You really want to say that?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the whole point."
Oh my gosh, that's so.
Yeah, it's fun. It should be fun,
Yeah, and I feel like that too. You're. Not only the brand is approachable, but the packaging is approachable. So, I mean, when you're thinking about that, one, having a successful brand, I think that's a big gateway to that, right?
Well, for most people, it's likely the first time they are going to encounter our product and the brand for sure. And we're the fastest growing oral care brand in America, and I'm like, holy molar. We'll go with molar. Holy molar.
Holy molar.
Yeah, keeping it PG or maybe even G. And we're available in a lot of stores. So we're in, we literally just jumped from a little over 19,000 doors to over 41,000 doors in the past about 5 months or so. And so we're in a lot of doors, and people have said, well, but wait, e-commerce. And yes, we're online and we're killing it. We have the number one kids toothpaste on Amazon, and we love places like Grove Collaborative and Thrive Market and iHerb and our own website. The digital side of things is fantastic. But 95% of people still buy oral care in a traditional food, drug, or mass retailer.
Totally.
And that's why we are there. And that's why we started there. We didn't start with like, oh, screw the normal way of doing it. We're this disruptive brand and we're going direct to consumer. This is like what we all hear about now quite a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to play where the fattest part of the bell curve was. Like I wanted to play in the space in the most like serious hand to hand, sort of combat way for a friendly company to use terms like hand to hand combat.
Right.
What I really meant was I wanted to like fish where the fish are.
Sure.
And we're in a lot of doors and we're growing like crazy. And the pack is a beacon. So in this, people have used terms like sea of sameness to describe a lot of different shelf sets in the world. But, we've all been kind of on autopilot when it came to oral care for a long time. And what I found really funny is most people tend to read labels now on most everything, but in oral care, they were like, I went to the dentist, they gave me the red box, it's on sale, there's 2 for 1 or something, I'll just buy that. So we had to make something that was going to be an attract mechanism for sure in that environment. But also, when you take it out of that environment and you bring it home, that would be really cool to live with. So I'm, to your point, like I'm obsessed with packaging, and by packaging, I mean, to me, it's art. Everything is art. So the pack isn't just functional. It has to elicit some other type of emotional engagement, interaction, response. And sometimes it's response that you can't even or don't even put into words. And what I mean by that is like, I'm obsessed with things like haptic response. Like, what does the tube feel like?
Mm-hmm.
What does it feel like when you squeeze it? So we have custom tubes, and it's not an accident. And they feel a certain way for a reason. And my design brief was really very simple. And the hardest briefs to get right are sometimes, so hard because they have to be so tight. And my brief was really, really tight. It was, I wanted the pack to look the same through its entire life cycle and be pretty enough to display.
Mm-hmm.
That was my design brief. And basically, as soon as you take a traditional tube out of the pack and you squeeze it once, it looks like shit. And I like to say we're saving marriages because there's someone who's going to say like, you're such an idiot. You squeeze the tube from the wrong end. I can't believe the way you mess up my tube.
Don't get me started.
It's like, I didn't know for years I was loading the dishwasher the wrong way until I was, corrected. I didn't know there was a wrong way to load the dishwasher. So there's clearly a wrong way for some in terms of how they squeeze their tube of toothpaste. So I want to do away with that. And the other thing is, apart from...
Can I just add a little note there?
Yeah.
So the appropriate way is to make sure that you have all of the toothpaste, right? Like squeezed to the front.
Yeah.
It's not all like, there's not all these little, it's not all dimpled everywhere.
Exactly. You should. Now, our tubes, they literally will, for the most part, unless you're like driving over the thing with your car to get the last dropout. And believe it or not, we have people that send us pics like, I love your stuff so much, I had to slice it open to get like the very last dropout.
Oh, God.
Literally, I got one of those 2 days ago on Instagram. I was like, I love you because you're that into it. But don't worry, we'll make more and we'll make sure you get some more. So, but people are really into it. But the tube is really designed to basically look good through its entire life cycle. And we designed it with a special barrier layer inside. And basically what that does is it allows us, because we only use natural flavors, no artificial flavors at all. And this barrier literally helps us preserve the integrity of our formulation and keep the flavors intact for the longest amount of time possible. And that kind of stuff is, it's baked in to the way we think about everything. Like we have to make it as thoughtful as we can and still accessible. And that's the other big thing for us because this is something I made up. I mean, I guess I'd make up all this stuff, but I made this one up. I pulled it out of my nether reaches on a stage. I got asked to come down to Walmart and give a chat, and it was on a stage, and it was a pretty big audience, and it was right when Whole Foods had been acquired by Amazon, and I'm in Bentonville, Arkansas, and I can't and wouldn't even try to speak for Walmart, but I'm sure that they knew that that transaction was occurring on that particular day.
Right.
And uh, and I basically said to them, like, you might be thinking about some other things in the natural channel, and I love the natural channel, but my happiest day was when we launched an all doors of Walmart, because I wanted to make a better product for the 100%, not for the 1%.
Sure.
And I stressed for them that I didn't say for the 99%, I said for the 100%. And then I went and proceeded to eat an entire tube of our fluoride-free toothpaste in front of
Oh
everybody.
my God. so,
And
so it's
yeah,
totally okay to eat.
well, I don't want to, like have your listeners like calling you up and saying, "Oh my God, I ate this toothpaste." But never eat fluoride. Fluoride is wonderful for your teeth, but it will definitely do damage to you if you eat it.
Kidneys or some organs, it's not
Yeah,
good.
fluoride, you definitely don't want to eat it. And but I ate a whole tube of our fluoride-free toothpaste, which I've been known to do. And if anybody wants to Skype with me from our website, you can. I'll eat some fluoride-free toothpaste for you. But I ate this tube, and I said, there was like our happiest day, because I wasn't kidding. Like, a big part of our mission is to make this better product that's as natural as we could make it and as effective as ours is. And I'll talk about that too in a second, and make it for everybody, because it's like, that's the big idea. So people will say like, "Oh, do you have a cause marketing play?" "Oh, I'm an agency that just does cause marketing. We want to talk to you." I'm like, "Yeah, my cause is making better shit for everybody." Like, I don't need to hire a cause marketer because I've been doing something for the past 50 years, and it feels soulless, or it doesn't feel like there's a give back strategy. It's like, we're not talking about our give back strategy. We're actually executing and living our give back strategy.
Right.
And that's the difference. So we're probably the only brand that I can think of that's launched in all doors of Dollar General, 15,800 plus stores.
Wow.
And like a week later, launched in all doors of Whole Foods.
That's incredible.
And not with, different products and different sizes. And let's play a game with volumes of, the actual products, so we can meet cost hurdles and pricing parameters for a retailer. It's like, nope, it's the same product we make because we want everybody to have better stuff. So I'm stressing again the word better. Like, if we test our stuff in the same labs as giant companies, and our products are awesome. I mean, they're not kind of good; they're amazing, and that's the thing. Like, we own all of our IP around the formulations. We didn't just go to a co-packer and say, "Oh, make me a formula."
I think, listen, your products stand out. They definitely taste good, and it's nice that they don't have all these added chemicals. So you guys are really doing an amazing job on the product side, but more importantly, you're doing an amazing job on the company side, and really
Thank you. Yeah,
that's
we're excited. We just won. Inc. magazine awarded us best places to work like a week ago.
congrats.
So we're really excited. It's really something we're proud of. We're building something.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So Craig, we every show we call this marketing mix for a reason, right? We talk about marketing, we talk about strategy, but then we want to talk a little bit about you.
Oh boy.
So we have about 5 minutes left, and
Okay.
I've got
I'm a Capricorn.
I've got a couple questions for you. I want to see how you think.
Okay. I'm
So
ready.
first question, right? If you were in a zombie apocalypse, not who would you play? Uh, how long would you last? For real?
Wow. That's such a good question. How long would I last for real? All right. So I won't like go with my fantasy version. I would go fast. I'd be like, just, I would say like, I'm going to set myself, I'm going to be like the best buffet you've ever had, zombies. So I'm going to like make sure the environment is right, the mood's right, the candles are set,
Good breath.
and then just like have at it, like, let's go. So I'd go really fast, but I'd like make a whole event out of it. It'd be awesome.
Maybe,
Like, other zombies would be jealous.
yeah,
Like, they'd all want to be there. It'd be like the best party ever.
that's funny. Okay, next question. So if you had to bury treasure, where would you hide it?
Well, I don't want to share that.
I know you're going to say that,
treasure.
like for real. Like, you're not going to bury treasure.
You know where I'd put it? I'd put it literally like on the main shelf of my refrigerator, because no one would ever find it there. It'd be like right in front, and no one would find it.
Mm.
I
True.
have two kids and like they can't find. It's like, Dad, you see the orange juice? Yeah, it's the big orange thing right in front of you. Like when they open the fridge, it's like I would just put whatever the treasure is right there in the fridge.
I do want to bury treasure, by the way.
It'd be really cool.
Wouldn't it be fun just to bury something, have a map with like coordinates and, you know, give it to someone like years later?
Haven't you always had like the secret fantasy that you're going to like dig into a wall somewhere and find, like a giant wad of cash from 1922 that someone hid in the wall?
Always.
Because you read stories where, the person found that Porsche Speedster that, they drove once and it's sitting in a barn. Like, these stories come up every 10, 20 years or so.
But seriously, I think I might do like a bunch of buried treasures with like maps and everything and just kind of like distribute them later.
Yeah, it's like the Shawshank moment.
Totally.
Well, we should go do that.
Let's
when
do
this is all done, let's go do that. Let's have like a Shawshank stone fence kind of thing.
I'm totally down. Okay, so a little more serious question than play questions. But
Okay.
when you're thinking about, your personality, which one of your personality traits has been the most useful to you and the most successful so far? So if you're even thinking about your career and really who you are as a person, like what is that trait?
Ignoring people that tell you no. Because everybody told me, so I have a history with some interesting brands, and one is Method. And I met the Method founders when they were very early. I mean, like literally mixing product in their bathroom. And I went to everyone I knew in venture and private equity to co-invest with me, and they all said no. And I was like, all right, then we got to do this, because basically I'm like, these really brilliant people just told me they're not going to compete. So we got to go. So people have always told me no. Now not as much as they used to, because a lot of, I've been very, very fortunate that a lot of things have kind of worked out okay. But man, everyone used to tell me no. And to me, no meant go. Like, this is awesome. So I think persistence and, just like not like I never give up. Like every day on the right side of the dirt is a good day. And I'm hyper grateful for that. And I think as long as you pay attention to what people are putting down and you pick it up in a respectful way, and you put good stuff out there, good stuff is going to come back. So I think it is about being persistent and being courteous, but genuine in the courtesy, not like polite.
Yeah.
And I think, again, like you just keep putting positivity out. I'm a really positive person. I don't think I've ever said that out loud, but I am really positive. I really do feel very fortunate.
Well, it shows. Like I told you that before we, chatted. I'm like, it really does show. Even in your,
thank you.
Even in your emails, I'm like, this guy's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. I just think we're only here for so long, and
I can't agree more.
I'm like, what's so bad? And bad things happen. I mean, it's just, that's life, right? But
could you imagine if everyone was just like nice and friendly and like thought like that? It's just like the world would be such a better place,
It'd be Canada. Sorry. It was right there. I had to run with that. But I just think that's how you do it. So I like to say we're in the friendly business. Like, yeah, we're making oral care products, but it's all about people, full stop. Like, that's not a joke. That's not shtick. That really is how we operate.
Fantastic. Well, listen, I hope, of all the folks that are listening, they're going to go and try your products too, because not only are they good, but you deserve it.
Oh, well, I wish the world worked on a deserving basis, because there are a lot of people that would really, really benefit and who deserve it. But I do know people have teeth, and I want to make sure if they try our stuff that they let us know if it makes them smile. So there's literally a Skype button on our website, and it goes right to me, and people Skype all the time, and it's a lot of fun.
So you got to do a series on that.
Oh man, it's seriously, it's amazing. I've had some incredible interactions with people from all over the world. It's been awesome. And yeah, just, call me, write me, text me. I give out my cell phone all the time. I've done that for years, and that's worked out really well. 917-392-1000.
Right.
Yeah, LinkedIn, ping away, text, right? I mean, you can't say you're in the people business and that you're trying to be the friendliest company in the world and then not be reachable. That's totally not cool. So, um, yeah, we're doing our best and we're going to keep trying. We got a lot more to come. So,
Awesome.
and thank you for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, well, Craig, thanks for coming on the show. And this was super great and enjoyed the conversation.
Same.
And, looking forward to seeing you guys crush it.
Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to not being the main course at the zombie buffet
Awesome.
anytime soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Craig.
All right. Thanks.